Today, we're exploring 12 haunted places in Louisiana.
Mysterious locations where Louisiana's ghostly past still lingers.
Number 1. The Myrtles Plantation, St. Francisville. In the quiet town of St. Francisville stands the Myrtles Plantation, a grand antebellum home wrapped in oak trees and shadows. Built in 1796, it has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted houses in America. Its beauty hides a darker past, filled with sorrow, mystery, and whispers that seem to drift through time. Visitors say the still air around the house feels heavy, as if it remembers every tragedy that ever took place inside its walls. The most famous story tells of Chloe, an enslaved woman who once lived here.
This is a terrible place.
Hoping to regain favor, she baked a cake mixed with a strange powder, believing it would only make the family mildly ill. But tragedy struck, and 3 members of the household died. Chloe was punished, and her spirit is said to wander the halls still, her green turban glowing softly in the night. Guests have reported ghostly reflections in an old mirror, faint footsteps on empty stairs, and cold breezes that vanish as quickly as they appear. Some claim to see children playing near the porch, while others hear piano music drifting through the dark. Even seasoned guides admit that doors open by themselves and chandeliers sway without wind. Today, the Myrtles Plantation welcomes visitors from around the world.
Did you feel that?
I think they are still here.
Some come for the history, others for the hauntings. But nearly everyone leaves with the same feeling, that beneath the charm and beauty, this house holds memories that will never rest. Number 2. St. Louis Cemetery Number 1, New Orleans. Just beyond the busy streets of the French Quarter lies St. Louis Cemetery Number 1, the oldest and most legendary burial ground in New Orleans. Built in 1789, its narrow paths are lined with tall tombs stacked above ground, forming a city within a city, a silent maze of marble and mystery. The cemetery's most famous spirit is Marie Laveau, the real-life voodoo queen of New Orleans.
Welcome to my realm.
During the 1800s, she was known for her healing powers and deep spirituality, helping people of all backgrounds. After her death, admirers began marking 3 X's on her tomb and leaving offerings to ask for blessings. Some still swear that Marie answers those prayers, and a few claim to have seen her ghost walking among the graves, dressed in bright head wraps and calm grace. But Marie isn't alone.
My camera doesn't work in this place.
Guides tell of shadowy shapes gliding between tombs, whispers on the wind, and sudden chills that appear under the blazing Louisiana sun. Cameras sometimes fail inside the cemetery, and visitors have reported hearing soft chanting with no one nearby. Each story adds to the strange magic that fills this historic place. Today, St. Louis Cemetery Number 1 is protected and only open through guided tours. Still, everyone who steps through its gates feels the same eerie wonder. Number 3. Alley Plantation. Stretching along the Mississippi River, Alley Plantation stands as one of Louisiana's most breathtaking landmarks. Built in 1837, its grand mansion is framed by 2 rows of 300-year-old oak trees whose branches form a natural tunnel. It's a place of great beauty, but also deep sorrow, carrying the weight of stories from those who lived and labored here long ago. Visitors often speak of eerie happenings after sunset.
This place holds many secrets.
Lights flicker in empty rooms, footsteps echo across the halls, and the sound of horse-drawn carriages is heard on the gravel drive, though none ever arrive. During one tour, a brass candlestick flew across a room before a crowd of startled guests, a moment that remains one of the plantation's strangest mysteries. Among its many tales is the vision of a woman in white, seen standing on the balcony, gazing toward the river as if waiting for someone who never came home.
Oh dear, I have seen the lady everywhere.
Some believe she was the mistress of the house. Others think she was an enslaved woman longing for freedom. Her quiet, sorrowful figure fades into the night. Oak Alley is a museum that honors every life connected to its history. Tourists walk beneath the massive trees, feeling the mix of peace and unease that lingers in the air. Number 4. LaLaurie Mansion, New Orleans. In the heart of the French Quarter stands LaLaurie Mansion, a tall gray house that looks elegant on the outside, but carries one of the darkest stories in New Orleans. Built in the 1830s, it was once home to Madame Dauphine LaLaurie.
Don't get lost in my house. There are certain things you'd better not see.
Yet behind her grand parties and fine clothes, whispers spread that something terrible was happening inside her walls. One night in 1834, a fire broke out in the kitchen. As rescuers broke through locked doors, they discovered a secret attic room. What they found revealed unimaginable cruelty toward the people enslaved in the home. Madame LaLaurie fled New Orleans and was never seen again. But the horror she left behind never truly faded. Over the years, people who lived near the mansion told of strange screams echoing through the night and shadows moving past the windows. Some said they saw ghostly figures chained in the upper rooms, while others heard the sound of footsteps pacing the halls long after midnight. The house gained a reputation so terrifying that few dared to enter it after dark. Today, the LaLaurie Mansion still stands on Royal Street, privately owned but often visited from the outside by ghost tours. Locals say the building holds the pain of those who suffered there.
You should come to this place when you don't want to be alone.
Number 5. Muriel's Jackson Square, New Orleans. Right on the edge of Jackson Square, where laughter and jazz fill the air, sits Muriel's Restaurant, one of the most famous and haunted dining spots in New Orleans. But before it became a restaurant, it was a grand home in the 1800s, belonging to a man named Pierre-Antoine Jourdan. He loved the house deeply, and when he lost it in a card game, heartbreak led him to take his own life inside its walls. Since then, people say Pierre Jourdan never left.
Watch out, I think he is still around.
The spirit seems harmless, almost friendly, but determined to remain where he once lived. At night, the upstairs seance lounges come alive with flickering lights and soft whispers, as though invisible guests are joining the table. Muriel's has embraced its haunted side with warmth and respect. Each night, a special table near the bar is set just for their resident ghost, complete with bread and wine, an invitation for him to dine in peace.
There are strange things happening in this restaurant.
I know.
Visitors find comfort in knowing that not all spirits linger in anger. Some simply stay because they love a place too much to leave it behind. Today, Muriel's is one of the city's most beloved restaurants, where history, food, and folklore meet under a chandelier's glow.
I love the nights in my city.
Number 6. Magnolia Plantation. Deep in the Cane River region stands Magnolia Plantation, part of a story that stretches back to the 1800s. Once a grand cotton plantation, it saw both wealth and war, and, according to locals, left behind spirits who still wander the grounds. The air feels heavy with history here, and the old oaks seem to whisper secrets of what once was. During the Civil War, the plantation became a site of bloodshed and loss. A Union major was said to have been poisoned inside the main house, and his restless spirit is often seen staring from an upstairs window. In later years, tragedy struck again when workers reported eerie lights and disembodied voices coming from the old slave hospital at night. Many believe these are the echoes of those who once suffered here, unwilling or unable to move on. Paranormal investigators have visited Magnolia and recorded unexplained knocks, whispers, and cold spots.
I'm out here to see if I see at least one of them tonight. But they can be shy.
Others describe the flicker of lanterns deep among the trees, moving as though someone is still patrolling the land. Today, Magnolia Plantation is part of the Cane River Creole National Historical Park, where history and memory are preserved together. Visitors come to learn about its past, but many leave feeling they were not alone. Number 7. Dauphine Orleans Hotel, New Orleans. In the heart of the French Quarter stands the elegant Dauphine Orleans Hotel, a place where history lingers like the sound of jazz drifting down the street. Once a row of private homes and a 19th century brothel, its walls have witnessed love, loss, and tragedy. Though beautifully restored, guests say the past still makes its presence known, whispering through the quiet halls after dark.
Could you please help me? My fiance hasn't come back, and I don't know what to do.
The hotel's most famous ghost is Millie, a young woman who once worked at May Bailey's place, the old bordello that still adjoins the hotel today. Millie was said to be deeply in love and ready to marry a soldier stationed nearby. But the night before their wedding, he was killed in a duel, leaving her heartbroken. Dressed in her white gown, she wandered the property in grief until the day she died, and her spirit never left. Guests and staff still report seeing a woman in white gliding silently through the courtyard. Others feel a sudden chill in her old room or hear faint footsteps pacing the balcony.
I
keep hearing noises in the hallway.
Me too. What is going on?
Today, the Dauphine Orleans Hotel welcomes visitors from all over the world, blending charm, comfort, and mystery. Its historic beauty remains untouched by time, and though most guests come seeking rest, a few leave convinced they shared the night with someone from long ago, someone who never checked out. Number 8. Louisiana's old state capital, Baton Rouge. Perched above the Mississippi River like a Gothic castle, Louisiana's old state capitol is one of the most striking buildings in Baton Rouge. Completed in 1849, it has seen fiery debates, political triumphs, and even a devastating fire during the Civil War. Its stained glass dome glows like a crown, but some say there's more than history shining within its halls. Legend tells of Pierre Couvillon, a state legislator who collapsed and died inside the chamber after delivering a passionate speech. His loyalty to Louisiana was so strong that locals believe his spirit never left. Over the years, guards have heard his footsteps echoing down empty corridors and even found fresh footprints on newly polished floors. Staff and visitors have also reported flickering lights, doors slamming shut, and soft murmurs drifting from rooms long vacant. Security alarms go off without reason, and some workers say they've felt an invisible tap on the shoulder when alone.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Paranormal teams have even captured strange sounds and shadows that seem to move on their own. Today, the old state capitol serves as a museum celebrating Louisiana's history, but its ghostly reputation endures.
This building is full of history.
Number 9. Hotel Monteleone, New Orleans. In the bustling French Quarter, Hotel Monteleone stands as a shining piece of New Orleans history. Built in 1886 and still family-owned, it has hosted writers, celebrities, and dreamers from around the world. Yet behind the music of its famous Carousel Bar, stories of friendly spirits swirl through its grand corridors, reminding guests that even luxury hotels can have a haunted past. One of the best-known ghosts is Maurice Berger, a little boy whose parents once stayed at the hotel many years ago. After falling ill while his mother was out, Maurice passed away in his room, but the hotel staff say he never truly left.
I think I just saw a child, but it didn't look natural. Have you seen him?
Other spirits are said to include former employees who still check on guests, and the faint sound of music coming from empty ballrooms late at night. Even elevators have been known to stop on the wrong floor, one believed to be the spot where the supernatural activity is strongest. But unlike darker hauntings, the ghosts of the Monteleone are said to be kind, keeping watch over the place they once loved. Today, Hotel Monteleone remains one of the most beautiful landmarks in New Orleans, where elegance meets the unexplained. Visitors come for its charm, its stories, and sometimes for the quiet hope of meeting a ghost who smiles rather than scares.
Oh, honey, strange things always happen in this hotel.
Number 10. Shreveport Municipal Auditorium.
Did you come to see us rehearse? Well, the truth is, you'll definitely see more things in this place.
In the city of Shreveport stands the grand municipal auditorium, a place filled with music, memories, and more than a few ghost stories. Built in the 1920s, this stunning Art Deco landmark became world famous in the 1940s as the home of the Louisiana Hayride radio show. But long after the applause faded, visitors began hearing strange sounds echoing through its vast halls. One of the most talked about spirits is known as Sarge, believed to be a soldier from the building's early days when it served as a military center. Women visiting alone often feel a light tug on their hair or a soft brush against their shoulder, as if Sarge is still standing guard. There's also the story of a young girl in blue said to appear giggling in the aisles, only to vanish when someone calls out. Late at night, the air fills with faint laughter, footsteps, and even music. Like the spirits of old performers still practicing for a show that never ends. Ghost hunters who visit often leave, convinced that the spotlight here shines on more than just memories. Today, the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium stands as a beloved piece of Louisiana's musical history. But for those who listen closely, the past is still alive inside its walls.
What a place!
Number 11. Bourbon Orleans Hotel. Tucked between Bourbon and Orleans streets stands the elegant Bourbon Orleans Hotel, one of New Orleans' most beautiful and most haunted places. Built in the early 1800s, it began as a grand ballroom before becoming a convent and orphanage. Over the centuries, joy and sorrow mingled here, leaving behind echoes that still linger in the quiet corners of the hotel. The most famous ghost is the lonely dancer. Late at night, guests have seen a woman twirling gracefully across the old ballroom floor beneath the crystal chandelier. The music is long gone, yet she continues to dance alone, fading away when anyone gets too close. Her gentle movements remind visitors of a time when this ballroom glittered with laughter and music. But she is not the only spirit said to remain. On the upper floors, guests have spotted the ghost of a Confederate soldier, still walking his post as if the war never ended. Others tell of children's laughter drifting through the halls and nuns appearing briefly before vanishing into thin air.
Matt, did you just see a nun?
Honey, what are you saying?
Today, the Bourbon Orleans Hotel is a favorite stop for travelers and ghost hunters alike. Its elegant rooms and candlelit halls carry more than just beauty. They hold the stories of the people who lived, loved, and lingered here. And if you listen carefully, you might just hear the faint rhythm of a waltz from centuries past. Number 12. Alley Plantation. Hidden among old oak trees, Alley Plantation looks peaceful now. But its past tells a much different story. Built in the early 1800s, this once grand home saw the rise and fall of fortunes, betrayal, and tragedy during the Civil War. Locals say those who lived and died here never truly left. According to legend, the home's builder, William Loyd, was accused of being a double agent, spying for both the Union and Confederate armies. When his secret was discovered, he was captured and hanged on the grounds. Visitors claim that on quiet nights, you can still see a figure pacing the porch, as if he's waiting for forgiveness that never came. But Loyd isn't alone. The spirit of a young Confederate soldier, once hidden in the attic by the family's daughter, is said to still roam upstairs. Some guests have heard boots creaking overhead or the faint sound of someone playing a violin, a nod to the music he once loved. Others speak of an enslaved nanny who cared for the Loyd children and whose comforting voice still echoes through the halls. Today, Loyd Hall is a bed and breakfast where history lives in every room. Guests come for its charm, but often leave with stories they can't explain. A whisper in the dark, a sudden chill, or the feeling of being gently watched.
Too much has happened in this place. You should know that already.
Here, in the heart of Louisiana, the past still breathes softly beneath the cypress trees.
If you enjoy this video, please click the like button.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
See you in the next one.